Hello guys, welcome to Checkmate City. Today we will see the game of 2024 World Chess Championship. So game number 1, Dingliran versus Kukish. So let's see the game 1. Here Kukish start the game with 1 e4 followed by e6, d4 and d5. Here is the French defense, right? In World Championship first game they play the French defense. So he continued with knight to c3, knight to f6 and e5. It's the advanced variation, right? Yeah, here is the obvious move, knight d7 and f4. Here he plays the f4, right? He something weaken this dark squares, but he has more space on the king side and he can bring his rook to f1 and double up the rook on f5. So black respond with c5, knight c e2, knight c6, normal developing move, and c3 solidify the center, right? This is a solid setup for white. So here black play the move a5, stopping b4, right, for further moves. And here white play the move knight f3, a normal developing move, a4, bishop e3, a normal developing move, and bishop e7, g4. Yeah, here comes the game, right? So here he advanced to g4. So he thinks he is going to attack, right? So he attacks the king side with this two pawns, right? So let's see how black responds. So here black play the move queen a5, just making a pin. Here white respond with bishop g2, a normal developing move, a3. So he attacks the c3, right? If you take this pawn, right, if you take with this, and he will play the move c takes d4, and if you take with this knight, right, and he will just take this pawn. So it's a threat, right? So if you take with this bishop, then he will take this bishop and then he will take this pawn, right? So it's a equal position for both, right? So it's slightly plus for black in this position because he is developing his queen and the two minor pieces, right? So he is attacking the king right in the center. So he does not takes on a3, instead he play the move b3, right? So he plays c takes d4, b4, right? It's the intermediate move which attacks the f8 queen. So here queen to c7 was played, knight to d4, knight b6, right? So he is coming to this juicy squares, right? Then to b2. These two squares are the important squares, right? So this knight can be placed. This knight become octopus knight when it comes to the center of the board. So next move is going to play knight c4. So we can think that you can play knight d2 and stop this knight c4. Let's see what Gukesh does. So here he play the move castles, knight to c4, bishop f2, bishop d7. These are the normal developing moves, right? So white play the move queen e2, knight takes d4, right? So he play the move knight takes d4. It's the somewhat the mistake, right? So the plan behind the exchange was he's going to put his knight on b2 and develop the rook and queen in the c file and attack the c3. This is a simple plan, right? So let's see how he executes. Knight to b2, queen e3 and rook c8, attacking this pawn, right? Rook a c1. So here is the another mistake, because if you think what, there is nothing, right? If you bring this rook or either this rook, nothing happens. You are going to support this pawn. But if you bring this rook, then the next move is queen c4, right? He's going to penetrate his queen to d3. So you have the move, right, bishop f1, which safeguards this d3 square, right? So which attacks the queen and you need to go back to c7, right? So if you play the move rook c1, here is the problem, queen c4 and f5. Here is the another mistake, right? So and here it does not have the bishop f1 move, right? This bishop f1 was stopped by the f1 rook. So the rook a c1 was a mistake. So let's see, queen c4 and f5 was played. He wants the pawn more further, right? He's thinking that he's trying to attack this king on center, but he's weakening his king side, right? So black play the move queen d3. He penetrate his queen to d3, queen e1, bishop g5, attacking this rook, right? So he plays the move rook c2, defending this pawn, right? There are two attacks over here, so he defends. Let's see that he can play the move bishop a4, right, which attacks this rook, but there's other move like f takes e6, f takes e6, and knight takes e6. So you can take the rook, right? It's an exchange, right? You can take this free rook, but there is something thriller coming in, right? So this king becomes weak. If you play this, then I have e6, right? If you come up, I will have the move knight f5, right? Knight f5, then I can go to e7 and e8 further. So you cannot play the move bishop a4 because of f takes e6, and here black play the move rook c4. He brings the rook to the center, right? He attacked this and have eye on this, and in the next move he will castle and bring this rook also to c1, sorry, c8. So white play the move h4, attacking g5. Bishop f4 was played. Queen to b1 was played, right, to support the c2 rook. Rook takes c3. He misses that, this becomes weak, and here rook takes c3, queen takes c3. A little exchange, and he plays f takes e6, f takes e6, and knight to e2. He thinks he's attacking this queen and bishop, so here white can attack these two pieces, but black has so many moves, right? He can just take on e5, or he can just take on b4. It's simply nothing, right? He takes on e5, knight f4, queen f4. It's an equal position, but it's a point plus for black because he has the two central major pawn majority, right? He can bring this connected pawn to the queen, right? So his knight is well placed, his bishop will be placed when come to b5. If he castles, his king is safe, but white has so many disadvantages. So let's see how he continues. Queen c2, queen c4 for exchange, queen d2, castles, bishop d4. He thinks that he's centralizing his bishop, right? And he attacks this b2 knight. So you can just take, and you will take with this bishop and attack this queen, and you will get this knight, right? So let's see what black thinks here. He takes and play the move knight to d3, right? So queen to e3 was played, rook f1, bishop f1, and e5. He just attacks this bishop on d4, right? This bishop does not have any scope. It goes to, right, it takes on e5, queen takes g4, attacking the king, bishop g2, bishop f5, supporting this d3 knight. Bishop g3 was played to prevent bishop e4, right? If you play some other moves, like for example he plays bishop d6, then bishop e4 is coming, right? We can defend this, but it's impossible to stop losing, right? He will play the move knight e1, right? He just attacks this and can't defend. You can't take this because there is a mate. If you play like queen e2, then simply a piece up for black. So right, it can't be play knight takes g2 because of mate, and he will play the move, right, queen g2. If you play queen f2, he play the move queen g2 and knight g2, right? So it's simply winning for black. So here black play the move queen takes g4, bishop g2, bishop f5, and bishop g3 to avoid bishop e4. Bishop e4 was played, right? King h2, h6, right? He can play the move queen b6 and queen d8 and bring the king to the center, but it's impossible now, right? He can go to h7. So bishop h3, queen d1. It's a simply an maneuver, right? So bishop d6, queen c2 check, king g3, and queen takes a2. It's simply lost for white because he does not have any advantage over this position. He gives the check and king h8, and black wins, right? White retains here. So this is the game of World Chess Championship of 2024 between Ding and Gukesh. So if you like this video, subscribe to Checkmate City for more videos.